They chose to be confident when they had nothing to be confident in. Does that make sense? So all those questions, I mean, it took me 2 years to get clear on it. And once I was clear, I was off to the races. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's a hard one. You got the questions?
Yeah.
What's your purpose? Why are you on this planet? That's a big question. You just get that one, you're fine. Number 2 is, what are your God-given talents? What do you do that's effortless? But it also has to have impact on people. You with me? Like, hey, I'm really good at playing video games. Well, actually today that could be a good thing. But 10 years ago, that was that was bad, right? Now it's like, good, you can make $1 million a year playing video games, good job. Like, what are your God-given talents? What do you value? What would you go for in 20 years if you knew you couldn't fail? And then if you were already there, who would you be? How would you walk? How would you talk? What would your attitude be? Like all that stuff. So that was a major shift for me. Cool? Yeah, good question, man. Yeah. All right, last question.
But today it would be really hard for someone with all technical skills and no people skills to survive the job market.
I agree.
For someone with no people skills, how will you become a people person?
How do you develop more people skills?
Yeah.
So I mean, so first of all, there's probably 10,000 books written on this subject. I mean, so like I'm maybe trying to give you something maybe different and unique. I would tell you that having like a personal, like we would call it like a USP, like your unique selling proposition. So why should I hire you versus someone else? And making sure that unique selling proposition is solving a problem for the person that you want the job from, and solving it in a unique way, and also in something that could be repeatable, right? So it wasn't a one-off. It was something that Rohan has done 3 or 4 times now, and you need me. I'm an assassin. I'm coming in. Like, I'm going to solve this problem. So forget the fact that I don't like human beings and don't want to talk to people. I can solve the problem. You with me? Right? Like, as an example. But at the end of the day, the whole world is communication. So I think it's irresponsible. First of all, again, identity. Like, if you identify yourself as someone that's not comfortable talking to people and I'm kind of shy and quiet, like, that's a great story. How's that working out for you? I'm not saying you. No, yeah, but I'm not saying you, but you know what I mean? Like, so it's practice, right? I loved, Garrett, are you the one that said the public speaking course?
Oh, yeah.
Like Toastmasters,
yeah,
right? Like,
great.
take a Toastmasters class. It was so rad that you brought that up, because communication is like, that's all we do.
Nobody realizes how important that is. It's a basis for everything.
Absolutely, right? So Toastmasters, there's a wonderful book called How to Deliver a TED Talk, right? And you can actually, what's even better is go on YouTube, then you could watch, and what you see is they all follow these very similar patterns, and patterns can be taught and patterns can be replicated. No different from, a tennis swing, right? It's a pattern. So the more you run the pattern, the more you win, the more you run the pattern. Does that make sense? But the first thing is, what do you identify as? Right? Like, you can take a person who's morbidly obese and you can do a surgery and staple their stomach and they will lose weight, but if they don't change their identity, they become the fat person again. Because that's how they identify themselves. When I learned that early on in my 20s, I was like, oh my God, like, that's it. How do you identify yourself? Does that make sense? So some of it is psychology up here, working on yourself. Other is just tactical, practice. Sign up for a public speaking course, go do 50 of them. You with me? Come intern at my office. I'll put you on the phone for the entire summer, and you'll talk to like 30 people a day, surrounded by 80 other people. Doing that, and you'll be like, this is so uncomfortable. Do what makes you uncomfortable. You with me? Remember that whole 40% thing? You're only giving life 40%. Try and get to 60. Try to get to 80, especially in the areas where you're uncomfortable. Say again? No, but if you Google me, it's super easy to find me. Yeah. That's probably something I actually should recommend, but I haven't carried a business card ever. Yeah. But Google me, and we do have summer interns. Steven, how many? I mean, we've had a couple of your pals. We've had tons of Michael's crazy knuckleheads, right? So yeah, summer interns. If you guys want to like learn new skills, try something different. Yeah, let us know.